Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I want to talk about this concept or notion that, tests, that God is testing you, the universe is testing you, and all of this kind of stuff is because you're a fighter and you're so strong. So why being a fighter is not a good thing, and here's why. How do I want to start this? I'm not quite sure how I want to start this. We look at having tests as something to kind of prove ourselves. And so I kind of want to look at it in a womanhood, motherhood, feminine energy way, where the tests, that the things that we feel are tests in our life, is not for us to prove anything. Okay? It's not for us to prove anything. That's where I want to start. It's not about us trying to prove that we're strong. Prove that we have endurance and we can get through this thing. That's not what it is at all. It's interesting because I want to set it up, actually, because this is why I even thought about it in the first place. If I can get my leg out from under me. But this is why I wanted to bring it up in the first place, is that, okay, so my daughter, she has been slipping when it comes to everything. Starting to pick up some bad habits and things from school and her peers, whatever. She's picking up some bad habits, and I see it as her mother. So I have a conversation with her, and I'll set things up as tests, not really tests, but it's really for her to demonstrate what it is that she truly wants. So anytime that I'll do this, I'll have her come to me and I say, well, what do you want for your life? I'll have her speak out her vision and what she wants for her life. Okay? And she'll say, well, I want to be a filmmaker. I want to have a family, these kind of things. And I'm like, oh, that's great. That's great. So that vision that she has for herself, and she's here. And so as her parent, I'm like, okay, I understand that we need to bridge that gap. So she has this vision for herself, and what is it going to take for her to get from here to her vision? And so I purposely have her demonstrate things in which I know will help her develop into getting her to that vision that she has for herself. And it's not out of punishment. I'll test her and see if she's strong and she can get through something. It's really too because I want that for her too. That vision that she has for herself, I want that for her too. I want her happy. And I want her to step into that vision that she has for herself. But as her parent, as her mother, I also understand that there are things that she needs to develop in order to get to that vision. There's responsibilities, and she has to demonstrate her capabilities for that vision that she has for herself. And so personally, as her mother, I do put things in place where she can demonstrate that and get to there. So the point I'm making is that, I think that there is in our culture, especially, that we believe that these tests are like that God is giving us these tests to prove that we need to prove that we are strong, we have endurance, we can get through it, and stuff like that. That vision that you have for yourself, those desires that are in your heart, you have to develop these things. You have to demonstrate these things in order to step into that vision that you have for yourself. And it was in that moment when I was having her demonstrate something, I had her read something to me because she's having trouble articulating and speaking and communicating. I had her read something to me, and she did phenomenal, right? And so it's her demonstrating and practicing being that person that's in her vision. Anytime that I take her through some sort of demonstration, some sort of practice, I have her speak out to me before we do it. I have her speak out to me before we do it what her vision and dream is for herself, so she knows. Okay. So the point that I want to make in that example is that these tests that we think that we're going through in life that are like feeling like a punishment, and it's about endurance and strength and stuff like that, is not about that at all. It's not about that at all. It's who are you going to be? It's about demonstration and practice. Who are you going to show up as when that thing shows up, to prepare you for that vision that you have for yourself, right? I am actually trying to get my kids in a certain school that I feel like will help them develop the skills necessary for what they want to do in their life. I really wanted this, right? And so that was a desire that I had. And something came up that was like, perhaps it's not going to happen. All these doubts and all this stuff came up in me. And I was like starting to plan, like, what about a plan B, plan C? And I was like, well, I got to do this. And I was like, well, I got to do all these things. And then I realized, hold on, I'm so powerful. As a woman, I'm creation energy. I'm so powerful. And I'm not showing up like I'm a powerful woman right now, trying to come up with all this doubts coming up, and I'm ruminating on the doubt. I'm feeding into it. I'm coming up with a plan B and plan C and all these kind of things. So I literally went to the mirror and I said, no, this is not who you are. You are powerful. You know who you are. You have an intention, and that's what you'll get. And I had to go back into a state of being. I had to be that person that knows. I had to be that woman that knows that this intention, this desire, this manifestation is mine. Once I pivoted, right? I pivoted what I was being, it changed. In that instant, I pivoted what I was being, because what I was being with the doubts and the plan Bs and I got to do this, I got to do some more research, and I was like doing this kind of stuff. What I was being was someone that doesn't have a thing. I was being someone that was in doubt. I was being someone that didn't know their power. I was being all of these things that I know that I'm not, right? So I had to shift. I had to pivot and step into being and knowing that it's mine. And in that moment, when I shifted into being and knowing, that's when I got the confirmation that it wasn't what it was. Okay? So that's the thing I wanted to share, is about being. Who are you being when that thing shows up? So we think that these are tests, and like, we think all of these things that come into our experience in our life are tests, maybe like, because test has more of like a punishment, negative connotation to it, that, I got to get through this, and I got to endure through this and show my endurance, show my strength. I need to prove something, right? No. Who are you being in that moment when the thing shows up, when that test shows up, when the demonstration? It's a demonstration for you to show who you are going to be. Because think about it. I want that vision for my daughter. I want her happy. I want to see her thrive. I want to see her flourish. I want that same thing for her. I'm not trying to show your strength, prove it to me. I'm not doing any of that. I want that for you. But I know that you need to demonstrate and develop some of these things to get there. Right? And so, who are you going to be in this demonstration? What is that vision that you have for yourself? That vision, that dream that you have for yourself, what is it? And who do you have to be in that vision? So these tests is to be that person now. And I understand some people say that these tests are about, patience and, strength and endurance and things like that. I don't believe that at all. I don't subscribe to it. I mean, I submit to you that it is for you to show up in that in which you are in the vision. Okay? Think about it. As a parent, like, we can see how life works even in our own lives and how we love our children unconditionally, right? I want that for you. But I also know that you need to develop this to get there. And so let's demonstrate it now and practice, and let's get you there. It's all a demonstration. So who are you going to be? And like in that moment when I was like doubting and I was like, oh my gosh, and I was starting to spiral, right? I was starting to go into this worry spiral, as I like to say. For a lot of women, we do this. It's like this worry spiral that goes into all these hypotheticals. But I was like, whoa, Amber, you know how this works? I literally went in the mirror, was like, you forgot who the F you are. I have to talk to myself that way. I don't know about y'all, but I talk to myself that way. But who the F you are. And who are you going to show up right now? Who are you going to be? Feminine energy is all about being. These tests that you feel that are tests in your life, it's not about you proving anything. It's not about showing your strength, your endurance, how you can make it through it, how you can make it through this test. No, it's who you're going to be. Peaceful, knowing, in your power. That's who you should be, right? It's not about proving. It's not about doing. I was about to get on the computer literally and start researching and doing all this stuff. It's not about doing. It's about being. Who are you going to be? Demonstrate who you are. That's what you're doing. Demonstrate who you are in these tests. Okay? It's not about, oh, I'm so strong. I'm proving how strong I am. Like my endurance. I got to do all of these things and make it through. No. Not at all. I'm not trying to do it, like, even with my daughter, I'm not trying to get her to prove to me or do, like, you got to make it through and be tired at the end or anything like that. I'm helping her. Life is helping you. Life is asking you who you're going to be in this moment. Life is asking you, who are you going to be in this moment? Who are you going to show up as in this moment? Who are you going to be? Can you sustain this? Beingness. Okay. That's all for this video. I just wanted to share that. Oh, you guys, also, the Fearless Muscle is launching tomorrow on my website, ambermarieturner.com, which is, I guess it runs kind of parallel, but like, being fearless, being in your power, these are important lessons that I feel like our children need. We're doing the visual and audio premiere for that. It's going to be a free download on my website at ambermarieturner.com. It's a great lesson for us as well as adults, as women. So definitely subscribe, and I will check you guys in the next video. Peace.